this next topic, that is managing a disk usage. Disk usage means how much disk is filled with data. Data means files and directories. How much disk is free and how much file system is free. What is the usage of your file system? That we are going to discuss in this topic, that is managing disk usage. We already learned that ls is the command to list files, directories on their sizes. Another command we learned is this find. This you can say this find and give this complete syntax, and you can find the files or directories with a specific size, or when it was changed, or with the names and all those parameters and arguments. df is the another command to display the file system usage. This is mostly used the command like and its option is -k. Nowadays from the Solaris 8, that is another operating system we are going to discuss later on, that the -h shows the disk in megabytes and terabytes. Not disk, actually the file system usage. So in other words, I can say df-k or df-h. These two commands are used to see the file system usage. du, that is disk utilization. This is another command to check how much disk, what is the size of your data in a specific file system. So du displays the utilization of directories and file system. For example, if I say this is a command du-sh and give the name of any file system or directory or anything if you want to see the size. So du-sh, for example, var is my another file system, for example. So du-sh/var will display the utilization of /var. That may be in megabytes or gigi, or maybe in bytes. Okay, that S stands for sum. It shows the sum of all the files, directories in this the directory you mention here. For example, if you say du-s and /tmp and /tmp, if it is my another file system or directory, so it will calculate the sizes of all the files and directories in /tmp and display the result. Okay, the next one is next utility is compressing files. So the compress utility, this command is to compress the file. For example, I can put in like compress and name of the file. So for example, if I compress file 100.txt, so it will be compressed. Compressed means like making that file in compressed file or a zipped format, or in other words we can say making the file in smaller in size. That is to compress that file. So if I give this command and its output will be this way, the name of the file and .Z. doing this, if your file was, for example, 100 MB, now that file most likely 50 MB. Okay, so why we have to compress this? To save the space of the file system or the disk, or to send that file, to transfer that file from one machine to another machine or over the network. Okay, so that's the reason we have to compress that file and then send that file to another remote machine, so that while sending that file, compressed file, you can save your time, like a data transfer time. For example, if you have taken the backup of complete system or database backup, and that database is like maybe like 5 GB or gigabyte, right? And if you want to transfer that from one machine to another machine, so it will take a long time, maybe like 8 hours, right? So if you compress those files and then send, then you can save your half time, yeah, approximately. So this is another utility, that is a gzip. The G came from what is called GNU, from the GNU, that is something libraries one. So gzip means again like compress. So gzip is to again zip the file, compress the file. So this is the another utility used, gzip file. Give the name of the file, and its output will be your file name .gz. So in this it was capital Z, here lowercase zz, gz. Okay. Now if I want to uncompress that file, you have to use uncompress utility. That I think I didn't mention here, but you have to uncompress utility to uncompress that file. Similarly, if the file was zipped using gzip, then you have to uncompress un, right? GUN, or like unzip, you can say gunzip in this case, gunzip, to unzip the file. And you have to provide the what is the zipped file, and it will create your regular file, the original file, after unzipping. Okay, there are some other utilities like bzip2, and its corresponding unzipping utility is bunzip2, right? This produces a file name called .bz2 output. These utilities are recently added into Unix world. This bzip and everything. Okay, the next one is the tar, TAR. That is something called tar archive file. So TAR, this is commonly used for archiving. Archiving means like collecting all the files and making one big file of those files. That is called archiving. So archiving and distributing files in Unix. So this is like you have like a huge data. You have customers' big data, like hundreds of thousands of files, and you are making one file of those so many files. Okay, that is called archiving. And then after tarring, like you TAR, after tarring, you can untar those to create a tar file, like an archive file. Like archive file means like big file out of so many files and directories, you can use this syntax, tar cvf or dash cvf. Sometimes the dash is required, sometimes doesn't require, depending on the what kind of Unix flavor you are using or working on. So tar cvf, and give the name of the your tar file name, whatever you like abc.tar, or for example like backup.tar or home.tar, any file you like, or you give some meaningful notation, that file, but it should be with a .tar so that you can understand that. Okay, this is my tar file, archive file, and what do you want to back up or create a tar file of? That is for example /home. /home is the actually the home directories of all the users and developers and admins and customers and clients and so many other people, right? So home, for example, you're taking the home /home file system, and which contains so many directories and file system. You're taking the complete archive using this command. Okay, and that your file will be created with this name, whatever you are mentioning here, /home.tar, and you are putting that file, you're creating file in here in this file system. Okay. To extract data from archive tar file, use -xvf. Use -xvf option. So you have to extract that file in order to see your original file, original data. So you can say in here you use a create, that C for create, and this X for extract. So so you had created this home.tar, and now you are extracting that somewhere. Extracting means you are restoring that original data. So that is extracting from that. Like in Windows we use what is called WinZip or something, that kind of extracting and zipping. But this is zipping, this is a tar file. So to list files, use -t. So sometimes you just want to list the files, not to create archive file or to extract, but you just want to list. So at that time you can use this like tar -tvf. Okay, so in this way you can take a archive of that complete directory and its contents, okay, and then restore somewhere on other machine or in some other file system or some place. Okay, so these are some utilities. So let us move to next slide. Okay, process management. This is a very powerful feature of the Unix, process management. So each command used in Unix creates a process that the Unix operating system runs until it is finished or killed. The word kill refers to ending a process in Unix. So any command you are running, right, it is doing something, some kind of task it is doing, and that command, or you can say Unix, creates a process for that command in order to finish the job. Like in Windows, if you run a right click on the bottom bar and task manager, you can see the all processes. Similar to this, Unix also created processes. So and that process runs until it is finished, that the job is completed, or it is killed by some Unix essay. So that is okay. So let's go now. This one, the multitasking is another feature. So multitasking is the capability of CPU. Okay, the CPU's capability is used by the kernel. Okay, so multitasking is the capability of a CPU, which is the brain of Unix system, to handle more than one operation at a time. So in other words, we can say kernel and CPU work together to finish number of tasks at one time. Okay, so that is multitasking. And the background processes. So let's go. What is background process? To run commands process. Okay, in the background. Add ampersand. This and sign to end of the command. For example, if I want to put any process in the background, right? So I can use this is some command, like for example find /home and just ampersand. Then this command I gave, the process is created by Unix, and that is running in the background. Why background? Because I have to work on some other stuff in the foreground. And background I am putting because I don't want this results urgently. I am just running this process in the background, and after finishing my main task, whatever I am working on, I will see the results later on. Okay, that is the reason we have to put the process in the background, and by providing this AT command. AT command is to execute a commands once, means only one time, at a single specified time. This command is, if you want to do some kind of execution of your process, your what is called script, then you can put in use AT command, AT, and give the what program you want to be run, and the name, what is the timing. So if you run that, then if you give this command, then your job will be executed. That may be like you are creating a report, or you are creating something, some kind of monitoring tool you want to get executed, or whatever you are putting in there, your script. Okay, the Control Z is to stop a process. So if the process is in the foreground, I think you can just press Control, this Control key on your keyboard, and then Z, not plus. Plus is just for your reference. That Control Z is to stop the process. BG, that is to move suspended process into background. So if the process was suspended, you have to put it into background. For example, BG, and give the name of your job. For example, BG, this one 20, and it will put it into background. FG means foreground. So to bring AT command job back to foreground. So the AT runs your job, and you can move that job back and forth from foreground to background, background to foreground. So these are the this is the way you have to manage the processes. So now let's go to the next slide. PS. PS is the very important command to display the currently running processes. So what is this written here? To list current processes, this PS is used. PS displays PID. This is process's ID. If there is a process and there is ID for that process, like for example for the user there will be UID. For process there will be PID, right? ID. Okay. ID means identification. So ID number. So command name. So what PS displays? PS displays PID, command name, and when process started. So it will display your these details, and it also displays most of the stuff like who started that. That's PID or is username. What time it started? What is the size? And what a lot of details it provides or displays on the shell prompt. So these are the two commands usually used: ps-ef or ps-aux. You can put in aux. That is old convention. That is, I think, a BSD Linux or Unix. PA system way, those are Unix flavors. Okay, kill is the command to stop the process. If you know the PID, like for example, if you run this ps-ef, right, and you will get a PID, and you can say kill that PID number. So you are killing the some process. If you want to kill some other program, for example, someone is connected to your machine with a SSH, and you want to kill that, so that user's process, you can kill it or stop it by using this command. Kill-L, it lists the signals. What are the signals available? Sometimes if you try to kill by normal user, try to kill the process which is owned by some root, so you cannot kill a root's process. So in that case you have to use it 9, and that also you cannot kill because you do not have that much authority. Sometimes a root has to use a signal 9, this kill-9, signal 9, in order to forcefully kill that process, because sometimes it is necessary. So sometimes if I want to reboot the server and some Oracle file system is mounted, right, and you are trying to unmount it before rebooting or bringing down the server, you cannot kill the process. When you try to unmount it, so if you say unmount, umount, right, umount /Oracle, right, /Oracle, and it gives the message saying that file system is busy, /Oracle is busy. So if it is busy, how can I bring down the machine? So in that case, you have to use this option -9. So kill -9, and what process is using this file system. So all the file system, all the processes will be killed. There is one command to check that, like fuser kc. So it kills all processes. Okay, automating task. So AT and cron, these two commands, right? AT and cron commands can help to automate tasks in Unix. So this automation is very important because it saves the time, saves the manpower, man hours. So cron tab is let me read this. For the commands to be executed repeatedly, right, cron tab command is used. Okay, cron tab command creates cron tab file So there are so many cron tab or cron tab files. You may get confused. So cron is the command. Uh, I'm going to take a break quickly. Okay. So we were discussing about the cron tab. So cron tab is command as well as file. So you can see this what is written here. For the commands to be executed repeatedly, cron tab command is used. Okay. So cron tab command creates a cron tab file. Okay. That cron tab file may be with someone's name. Like if you want, or for example, I have like a database, and I want to delete some files in the morning, or I want to take a backup in the morning. At that time, I can create a cron tab file for the database user, for example, Oracle user, and mention everything in that file, what is to be done, and just execute that file. So cron tab, these are the some. If you say like cron tab -e, that it edit that file. So it edits that file, and then you can add your comments in there, and then exit, and you have to specify what time you want that your script to be executed. So that is a cron tab file, and the cron is another job that executes that your file. Okay, so cron tabs are file syntax. Each entry in a cron tab file consists of 6 fields, specifying in following order. With 6 fields: minute, hour, day, month, weekday, and your command. For in other words, if you want this is your like any command or script, and that script does some kind of task, and you want that script to be executed like every first day of the month. So you can put in this one. So all month. Okay. And which day? You can put in the first day. Which hour? I want at something maybe 5 a.m. or something. Okay. Minute you can 00 or 30. Right? And weekdays there is nothing. You can say star. Star means everything. No, doesn't matter what. Right? So you are interested in running your this script at specific day and month, that you are mentioning here in this one, and that will be executed by the cron. Okay, now I hope you understand that. Now let's go to so as discussed earlier, AT is to schedule a job one time. So to schedule a job one time, it is used. So you can say AT runtime, AT noon. Okay, so if I say like AT noon, so that means I want my command to be executed at noon, 12 noon. Then what is the command? That is I'm specifying on the next prompt. And once this is written, then I'm just saying a Control D to terminate my this, whatever I was writing, and that's all. And the command I have written here will be executed at noon. the next noon. If it is already 1 p.m., so it will be executed possibly next noon. Okay, now no hop. Okay, so this noon, this possibly it may give error. This if you are running this command at 1 p.m., it may give the error that it's 1 p.m. You cannot execute it at noon. You have to execute it next day. Okay, so no hub. If you want something to be done, even though you logged off and you want that is to be running, even though you left for the day, so in that case you can use this no hub command so that it will be continued to run. Like if you like so much data and you are transferring that data from one database to another or one machine to another machine, at that time you can use this no hub command. First you have to use no hub and then no complete command, right? So let me read what is written here. To enable a process to continue running even after you log off, use the no hub command. So that means no hub and give the command. So it will be continued to run. Okay. Stop command, TOP, that shows the amount of CPU time being used by the processes that are currently running on the system. It's like a task manager in Windows, right? So you can give top and it will show all the commands or topmost commands which are taking more CPU time or more memory, right? So the top command is very important to find out the processes which are very slow or taking more time and more resources of the system and Unix operating system, that you have to remember this command. Nice and renice. Nice and renice means giving the priority to specific processes, in order to run them fast. So every process has a priority on the system, right? And that priority controls how much processor time a processor gets in order to complete a task. Priority ranges from -20 to 20 if it is negative. A negative number is the highest priority. If I have something and if I want to print something job, printing is rarely used on a Unix machine, but if I want to print a job and that is high priority, then I can use use a nice command and dash 20, and it will in the system, Unix system will provide a more priority to your print job. Managing I/O. Inter-process communication is done via input and output directions. Redirection. Right? Redirecting from here to another one. So inter-process communication is done via input and output redirection. I/O means like input output. Input output, I can say in short I/O. I/O redirection means, what is I/O redirection? Means sending input or output, okay, somewhere other than the default location. The default location, what is default location? For example, we have a laptop or PC, right? And our default input device is a keyboard, and default output device is our monitor. So whatever I type, I can see on the monitor. That is my output is being displayed on the output device, that is monitor device. That is a default. And keyboard, I type in, that is input to my computer or my process or my Unix Unix operating system, right? So input and output, those are default. But if you want to redirect this somewhere, you don't want to be displayed on the monitor, so you can redirect somewhere else, like you can redirect in the file, right? Similarly, if you don't want a default input, like I am the user and I'm typing something that is input to my program or for something, right? I want input from the other programs. My program, my maybe in my Java program, my .NET program, or Apache program, or something program, right? It requires input from non-default location. So non-default location means like default location is in a keyboard. So I don't want output from the keyboard. I want input from the some other programs. I means my program. My program wants input from other program, right? That is called redirecting. So input and output redirection is done with special characters, and those are less than and greater than characters. This less than, which redirects standard input to come from a file, and this greater than sign, which redirects standard output to go to a file. Okay. So this file is actually again a program, or maybe a simple text file, okay, or maybe a device file. This monitor is also one file for the Unix, that is a device file, hardware file. Okay. So for example, if I select cat, okay, cat is to display what are the contents of a file, and I am providing this cat command. I am providing input from this one file, okay, right? Then whatever that type in, whatever input I have given, see when I am providing input to my command, okay, this is command or process or program, whatever you can say. When I am providing input from this file, and see this input is going, so less than sign, right? Input is going over here, and then at the same time the results will be sent to the another file. I am giving some different name to this, and that is a redirecting. So this is input file and this is output file in this case. Why this is input? Because this is less than sign I have provided. This is output file. No, this is greater than sign. The output file I provided. You can provide whatever you like in a name. This is just an example. Okay. So this way you are getting an input from one file, and that your program is redirecting that output to some other file. So that is called managing IO redirection. Redirecting. Okay. With IO management, you can redirect input from any standard location to anything you specify. Okay. Okay, this next one is pipe. This pipe, standard output also in short called std out. This is the keyword. Standard output std out of one program fits directly into the standard input std in of another program. Okay. std in, that is standard input, and that we will just discuss after few minutes.